Mantras are used to depict the spiritual world, and what that tonoscope manifested was the yantra on the membrane by projecting Om onto the membrane. Far out, huh? And I saw a video of somebody showing it. Here's how it works. It's for real. Okay, so now I'm going to go to some other examples of the power of sound. The power of sound, high pitch frequency can shatter glass. You have to hit the glass, it just can break the glass. Smash. Or, modern technology, they use sonic weaponry. They can use to incapacitate somebody. They're just they can't move. Or it can kill. Leave it to our government to figure out different ways to kill people. Music therapy, because sound is very powerful. If somebody is a little incapable of processing messages, they just use music. And there's different ways that it works. It promotes wellness, etc., etc., etc. When other modalities of wellness are not seeming to work, or to augment working modalities, music has become, in some places at least, very effective. In medical science, I don't know if anybody's had a sonograph. It's you can see what's going on. And I had one done a little while ago. They can see what's going on inside your heart. They take pictures using sonograph. And I was told, I've got 2 valves that aren't closing fully, but it's nothing to worry about. But they can see all that stuff just by a sonograph. Extracting this and that from liquids by using ultrasound. And now this is Dr. Emoto. Structuring of liquids through sound. So here's what he has done. He has another, device. It has parts. He takes water from different sources, freezes the water, and then takes small pieces as they're thawing, puts them under high magnification. It's called the dark microscope. I don't know what that means. That has photographic potential, and takes pictures of the crystal. And there's variations on taking water from the one place, doing different things through sound to that same water. Take a picture. You'll see some of the pictures. In short, the principle is that sound and other thoughts, words, ideas, music, it affects the molecular structure of water. And since 70% of our body is water, and 70% of the Earth planet is water, it's significant what sound vibrations and thoughts and music is going out into the world. Very, very significant. They change the molecular shape of the water, and it reflects not only something that's reflecting on the surface of the water, but it reflects the environment that the water is in. So here's some examples of his photographs. This is one of the natural spring waters, very nice crystal. Here's the last clean stream in Japan, a little darker, but still nice. Oh. Okay, we'll go back to, there's the nice ones. Okay, there's spring water. There's a clean stream in Japan. And here's the Fujiwara Dam. Looked like yuck. Taking the same water and offering prayers in Japanese before that same water, here's what it looks like. A little different. Or the same Fujiwara Dam, because it's like lots of water. So over there is when they play heavy metal music and take pictures of the crystals, and instead they say thank you. Very different. You make me sick, I want to kill you. Looks like that. And love and appreciation, just make that sound and have that thought. Looks very different. Say Adolf Hitler, that's what it looks like. Say Mother Teresa, that's what it looks like. Yeah, the sound vibration. Sound vibration. Same water. So don't say Adolf Hitler too much. Here's an image, hopefully, that's Sanskrit prayers, or like chanting the mantra as we were doing. That's another photograph. Now, so again, the principle is sound or music or thought even. It has some impact on molecular structure, and it reflects what's going on around. And sound is one of the big factors. And since our body is 70% water and the earth is 70% water, no wonder people are sick in their bodies or in their minds. So that's the power of sound, just speaking in a general sense. And now we're going to go to the power of mantra or mantra meditation. Now, most of you probably know the meaning of the word mantra. And those that may not know, man is a Sanskrit word that refers to the mind, and tra comes from the word trayate, which means deliver. So that which delivers, that frees the mind. Like I'm holding in my hand this little device for changing slides. And if I was thirsty, I'm okay, I'm not thirsty, but I'd have to like let go of what's in my hand to get the water to take the water. So if you want to go from lower consciousness to higher consciousness, you have to let go. And mantra, through sound, helps let go. And because the mantra itself is, there are different mantras, but the Mahamantra specifically is a spiritual sound that, like Om, it connects with the spiritual realm. Just by sound, you're connected. It has spiritual power, which can produce significant benefits when chanted properly. The Vedas, there he is, Veda. Veda means knowledge, so it's knowledge that's of beyond the senses, beyond the otherworldly knowledge. It has worldly knowledge, but otherworldly is the source of the worldly, or as above, so below. What's here is a reflection of what's in the higher realms. So mantra connects you with that higher realm. It has that potency. And especially effective, especially when it's audible. Now, it can be done silently, in silent meditation form. It's more effective, it's audible. Here's some benefits of mantra. So the topic was power, but when you have that power of mantra, here's some of the benefits. Here's a nice mandala, something like what you see here on the wall. Only you see right in the middle, there's the Om symbol, and around the outside of the Om symbol is the Mahamantra. By producing the gross sound of the mantra and hearing it, we change sound on a more subtle level. What does that mean? On a level of thought. Your thoughts start to become changed. Then next, the desire from which thoughts arise change. And then ultimately something that's beyond our experience of the temporary can be connected. That's how mantra works successively. It takes some absorption and purification and elevation, and you have to be attentive. And it's not easy to be attentive when there's so many things that are distracting the mind, distracting our desires, and extracting who we really are, the spark of life within. Now, some of you, I'm guessing, do some kind of yoga. How many of you do some kind of yoga? Most of you. Those of you that do some kind of yoga, you probably know something at least about chakra meditation. And without going into it, because there's a lot of little letters on the screen, but there's chakra meditation has something to do with bringing your mind to a certain energy center within the body, aligned with positions within the spine, and gradually to the crown chakra or Brahmarandra at the top, etc. So the benefits, the point is, the benefits to be achieved by that type of meditation, chakra meditation, is achieved automatically through mantra meditation. So chakra meditation requires fixing the mind in a certain energy center within the body. All of that is fulfilled through mantra meditation. And of course, it depends on where your attention is as you're chanting, as it depends on where your attention is when you're doing chakra meditation. But you can feel that energy, and you can feel, every bit of the stage of consciousness elevation through mantra. The power of mantra is the topic. Now, there's academic people. Maybe some of you have heard his name, Dr. Benson, Herbert Benson, Harvard University Medical School, has done something like, again, 35, 40 years of study in meditation, and then he went to sound meditation, then he went to mantra meditation. He's written 11 books. He's got Harvard Medical School, stamp on all of what he writes, 175 scientific publications. So I'm not going to go through all that. It's voluminous. But in essence, when certain conditions are there, there's a certain effect that's predictable. So when the conditions are a quiet environment, the ideal time for mantra meditation is early in the morning, before the mind and things around you get busy. Early morning, in a comfortable position, and then with some sound that's a sacred sound of some kind. So it doesn't have to be this or that or the other tradition. It's just a principle. And trying to be in a reflective state where you're receiving the sound vibration and its effect. And if the mind can slow down and become relieved of the passions that normally accompany life, go from this to that to that to that, then when those conditions are met, his studies show, then there's measurable, biological, brainwave, this and that, the other kinds of effects that come as a result, predictably. Someone sent me an article from the Olympics. There's one lady that won the 400 hurdles in a record time. And she explained one of the things, she's a graduate from, I think from Harvard or Yale. Harvard or Yale, it's one of those places. And, what has enabled her to fulfill all of what she's doing is she does meditation. She does mantra meditation. And it helps her achieve what she's been able to achieve. So it's not just for armchair people. It's for very, productive and effective people, for sure. A person I know quite well did a study some years ago at Florida State University, since I know the person, I know a little bit about how he did what he did. He got his PhD on the following. He submitted a PhD thesis, and it was approved. And it was in the field of I forget what you call it. Something like social welfare, something like that. And he involved the statistics department. He put an ad in the school paper. It's approved. Anybody out there that wants to do two things, get $35 by being an experimenter, and help me get my degree. You do some kindness for me and you get $35. So many people applied. They were interviewed just based upon two things. They'll actually do it and they'll report honestly. People that they don't have faith in anything, they're just going to get $35 and help somebody get their PhD. So when they accepted, and they were divided into three groups. Sorry for the detail, but it's interesting. So all three groups were told the same thing. Here's a very ancient, traditional, sacred mantra that will help you become free from depression, become free from stress, relieve you of feelings of distress, and elevate you to the qualities of goodness. And the three groups, one got the Hare Krsna mantra, another got a standard Vedic mantra, another was a placebo group. Just gobbledygook syllables they made up. And they were supposed to do this mantra chanting every day for a certain amount of minutes each morning for 2 months, and then as they were going along, report. And they had 3 ways of reporting: in writing, and an interview, and then to the supervisors of the PhD project. So that was an obligation, along with the meditation. And the conclusion, the findings of all with the statistics department, was those that were chanting the Hare Krsna Mahamantra, that didn't know nothing about nothing, found that it was most effective in diminishing tendency for depression, of elevating them through the mode of goodness, and there was ways that they evaluated that, and less feeling of pressure of stress. And then he wrote in scientific articles along with his PhD and said there's room for much more research on this, blah, blah, blah. It's just scientific evidence from neutral people that mantra meditation works. It's effective when it's done properly. Last little statistic, another doctor doing some research found that through meditation, using sound vibration meditation, they were judging brain waves, or measuring brain waves. So there's the hyperactive, and then active zone, where the brain wave frequency is really high, and that's where people are really passionate and, looking like that. Then there's the drowsy and then sleepy zone, and those that were the meditators, they were in this, what's called an alpha zone, and it signifies in the alpha zone that you're relaxed as opposed to stressed, and in general alert, or the back part of the brain, the awareness lobe of the brain, is more active. Not just the motor part of the brain where you're doing stuff, but the awareness part of the brain is more active. And there's lots of such studies like that. So I'm going to, because of time, I'm just going to skip over. These other illustrations just show effects of mantra meditation, how it helps. Anxieties, fears, insecurities, tensions, ignorance are minimized. There's studies that, is it true or not true, and the studies show it's true. Mantra, the liver of the mind works. And as it goes along, it leads to not just physiological benefits, but happiness, steady intelligence, concentration, etc., etc. I'm going fast because of time. So there's different mantras. You know, Om is a standard one. Some people like Ram. Maybe some of you know the personality Hanuman, and he just chanted Ram. And then there's Mahamantra. And it's actually in the Upanishads, one of the ancient texts, that has these very same series of letters and says of all the mantras for this particular age, the age of quarrel and hypocrisy, it's called, this is the most effective, or this is the Maha Mantra, the great mantra for taking us out of the adverse effects of this age and connecting you with this, what is called, place of higher consciousness. So, back to the beginning. Power of sound and the power of mantra. But you're all experienced with the musical part. And you must be here because you feel something, you're experiencing something. And it's hard to replicate having this, you know, the guitar and everything else because the musical accompaniment makes it so nice. Add to that the use, just like you see in the image here, of mantra meditation beads, which disciplines all over the world have. Remember the first time I went to Cornell University. Cornell is way up there in upstate New York. And so the room that we were assigned for the program was the International Building. And the International Building, you know, that's these old stately walls are 3 feet thick stone, like, you know, really strongly built buildings, Ivy League school. And we were put into the international room. So all the way around the room is pictures of monks, Buddhist monks, I assume, and they all had beads. I mean, it's not a tradition-specific practice. It's a universal practice. It helps concentration by the tactile sense, the auditory sense, the speaking sense, all connected with the one same thing, that sound. It helps to focus the mind and bring the mind to a peaceful and focused state through those different stages that were mentioned. Nine o'clock. There's some time, if you all are interested, we can take some time and have some little discussion. You ready? Okay, yeah. You set up like, I'm ready. About? When your voice goes down a little bit, I can't hear everything, but you started off real strong. It was really good. You're happy. Huh. Good. Well, thank you. There's lots of those anecdotal stories of people that their lives just turned around. And they weren't trying to get their life to turn around. But there are different mantras and there's different potencies in those different mantras. I like your Atlanta accent too. Okay. Okay. Very pleasant. Thank you for sharing. Anyone else? Some thoughts, questions, complaints? Question. What about the which? The placebo group. Oh, okay. You've heard that term before? It's like, okay, placebo. Okay. So I don't know what happened to them. I don't know what happened to the other group. I only know what, the conclusion is all I know. That of the three groups, the one, they evaluated, there was self-evaluation and there was others evaluating. But using those criterion, they found the Mahamantra was most effective compared to the other two groups. They subjectively experienced that more so than the other two groups. What happened to the placebo group, I don't know. I can ask the fellow, maybe he, the one that did the experiment, but it was a few years ago. He probably has that information. Anything else? Yes. From the which? Conspiracy theory. What does that have to do with mantra? Ah, no. I mean, from what Dr. Emoto says, it's even thoughts, what to speak of words and music and other things, it has impact. Environment has impact on water, and water has an impact on how we feel and what goes on inside. So, in principle, like he said, quite possible. But, I would say this, I don't know exactly what this theory is, but the principle of transcendental means going beyond, transcendental means going beyond those material conditioning influences. When someone's consciousness, when you become transcendental, you're not going to be influenced by other things. Environmental, the modes of nature, for example, goodness, passion, ignorance. You're not, for those that are not transcendental, they're very influenced. And so one of the ways to influence is through sound. Right? So, Conspiracy theorists, I don't know. But at least the principle is there's sound vibration. A lot of people are moving by what they hear in the media. And who knows if what they hear in the media, it all matches what's really going on. We don't really know. Conspiracy theory thought? We're ready? We're ready for some mantra meditation.
Maharaj, there was an online question.
There's an online question. Look at that. Hold off the guitar, please.
In the liminal space, how to continue with enthusiasm when not much physical association is available and there is limited attention span to take online association?
How about this? I'll take that question tomorrow because this group doesn't even know what liminal space is all about. I could explain what liminal, but the person is referring to some other idea that they heard at another time, and if you all want to hear about liminal space, I'll go into it. But otherwise, let's go. Tomorrow, there's a class at 11:30. Tune in, ask your question then. We'll be happy.
We'll send you the link to the 11 o'clock.
It's going to be about Balaram. Where is he? Ah, you please come. Both days, Balaram, Balaram, Balaram.